In the distant future, in the year 2019, the Earth has a gloomy and threatening atmosphere. The city of Los Angeles is immersed in constant rain, and neon signs reflect in muddy puddles. Humans now live side by side with artificial creatures called replicants. These creatures are genetically engineered by a corporation, created to perform dangerous and difficult tasks on remote colonies, but their presence on Earth is strictly forbidden. Replicants look and act like humans, but there is one major difference. Their lives are limited to only 4 years to prevent them from developing emotions and self-awareness. One such replicant named Leon comes for a job interview at a company where he is asked questions to determine whether or not he is human, and is used to identify the emotional reactions that distinguish humans from replicants. However, Leon realizes that he is being exposed and kills the examiner. This incident causes the police to once again turn to Deckard, an experienced replicant hunter who has retired. Deckard reluctantly agrees to return to duty because the police know he is the only one who can handle the new group of replicants who have come to Earth illegally. Deckard is tasked with finding and eliminating 4 replicants. These replicants, Roy, Pre, Zora, and Leon, have escaped from one of the colonies and are trying to find a way to extend their short lives. Their goal is to meet their creator, Dr. Eldon Tyrell, to get answers. Deckard, armed with his dedication to his work and cold determination, begins his investigation. Deckard first visits the corporation where he meets Rachel, Tyrell's assistant. She is beautiful, intelligent, and seems completely human. Tyrell offers to run a Voight-Kampff test on Rachel so Deckard can prove his qualifications. After a lengthy test, Deckard realizes that Rachel is a replicant, though she herself is unaware of it. She has had artificial memories implanted in her that make her believe she is human. This discovery shocks Deckard, but his mission is clear. He must destroy the replicants, even though they look and act like humans. Deckard continues his investigation and finds traces of Zora, one of the escaped replicants. She works as a dancer at a club, and Deckard tries to make contact with her under the guise of a moral purity inspector. However, Zora suspects something amiss and tries to escape. After a tense chase through the streets of Los Angeles, Deckard catches up with her and kills her. Despite successfully completing the mission, he feels an inner restlessness. Each time he kills a replicant, he begins to doubt the rightness of his actions. Meanwhile, Rachel begins to realize her true nature. She meets Deckard and asks him if she can trust her memories. Deckard coldly tells her that all her memories are false, and this leaves her at a loss. She realizes that everything she knew about herself is an artificial illusion. Rachel doesn't want to die like the other replicants, and soon there is more than a mutual understanding between her and Deckard. Their relationship begins to grow, but at the same time it causes Deckard to have even more doubts. On the verge of emotional exhaustion, Deckard confronts Leon. Leon is strong and aggressive, and he manages to overpower Deckard in a fight. Deckard seems doomed, but suddenly Rachel comes to the rescue, killing Leon with a shot to the head. Deckard is shocked that Rachel killed for him. This further complicates his internal struggle, as he now feels he can't destroy her like the others. Meanwhile, Roy, the leader of the replicant group, continues his mission to find Dr. Tyrell. He wants to meet him face to face to get answers to the ultimate question of whether replicants can be extended. Roy and Pris hide out in an abandoned house and meet JF Sebastian, an engineer who works for Tyrell. Sebastian himself suffers from accelerated aging, and Roy uses him to infiltrate Tyrell's headquarters. When Roy finally meets Tyrell, he asks him to extend his life. Tyrell replies that this is impossible, as any attempt to alter the genetic structure will cause the body to deteriorate even faster. Roy is furious, feeling that his life, as well as the lives of the other replicants, was doomed from the beginning. In a moment of desperation and rage, he kills Tyrell, breaking his creator's neck. This murder symbolizes the end of his hopes for salvation, but also shows his human side's thirst for life and fear of death. Afterward, Roy returns to Pre. Deckard, having learned the whereabouts of the remaining replicants, finds them. He encounters Pre, who uses her agility and strength to fight him, but Deckard manages to kill her despite her fierce resistance. This next kill only intensifies his inner conflict as he sees the replicants fighting for their lives just as desperately as the humans. The final battle is between Deckard and Roy. Roy, despite his aggression and physical power, displays surprising behavior. He does not immediately try to kill Deckard, but instead plays with him, testing his limits and making him realize what it means to be on the brink of death. When Deckard tries to save himself by climbing onto the roof, Roy follows him. However, instead of killing him as one might expect, Roy saves Deckard when he falls off the edge of the roof. In this moment, Roy, on the brink of death, realizes the value of life, both his own and that of others. Deckard, watching him die, is deeply shocked. He sees Roy not just as a machine, but as a being who has experienced the same emotions as himself. This causes him to rethink his attitude towards the replicants and himself. Deckard returns to Rachel. He decides to leave his job and run away with her, knowing that her life is also limited. In the final scene, they go off into the distance, trying to find their place in a world where the lines between humans and replicants are becoming increasingly blurred.